Hi, Fashion Dolls. It is Transformation Tuesday, January 24th, and welcome to an all new episode of Style by Stevie. It is Paris Fashion Week, Couture Week, Part 2, and I'm super excited for our very special guest today. She is beautiful, she is an actress, she is a Leo, and she is originally from Puerto Rico. So I'm super excited to have her here in the dollhouse with me, Nereida Velazquez, ladies and gentlemen. So let me go ahead and share this live with everyone to let everyone know that we are on in full effect. You guys know that I was going to come with the fashion. I told you for Paris Fashion Week, we got to represent, honey. I'm super excited. So make sure you guys also head on over and subscribe to Style by Stevie Daytime so that you guys can get right into it, all right? So we got a great show lined up for you guys today. I'm super excited about our very special guest. She is a Leo. She's from Puerto Rico, and you might have seen her in a film on BET called Redeemed. I'm super excited to have this beautiful, talented actress here in the dollhouse. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Nereida Velazquez. All right. Oh, perfect. Welcome to the dollhouse. How
I'm
are
great.
you?
Thank you for having me. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. It is such a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So before we get into this girl talk with the beautiful Nereida Velazquez, tell us how has 2023 been for you
Oh my
so
God.
far?
2023 has been amazing. And why I say that is because I always have a gratitude attitude. So I'm just grateful to be alive, be here. Got some exciting things in the making, plant some seeds and waiting for fruition. I'm actually a judge in the Carolina Film Festival, so I'm excited about that. So it's really exciting because I get to see it in a different window, being an actress. So I get to actually rate, and I know what judges are looking for the Carolina Film Festival this summer. And one of the projects I just filmed this last summer is going to be premiering in February. So I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Okay, okay. So let's get right into this girl talk. That is amazing because we just had Sundance. One of our girls who I just did a girl talk with, shout outs to her, Danielle Ward. She just came back from
Okay.
Sundance. So she'll talk about that when she comes back on in April. So that's amazing. Congratulations to you, girl, on that. That's a big achievement.
Thank you.
All right. So let's get into this girl talk, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So you were born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, originally in Puerto Rico. Tell us a little bit about that shift, that change.
So my parents were born in Puerto Rico and they
Okay.
met in Philadelphia. So I was born in Puerto Rico, but I was raised in Rochester, New York. So I lived in Philadelphia for, I was 2 years old. So the story is my parents took a train to Rochester and I grew up in Rochester. And, Tay Diggs is from Rochester, New York. It's a couple of actors that I believe are from Rochester, New York. So Rochester, New York has a lot of great history.
Mm-hmm.
I moved to Florida. I lived in Orlando and currently I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina right now. So I've been around the whole coast.
So how is it like being able to, I know with you being an actress coming up very, very young, at 2 years old, being moved around and things. Like, what is it like for you growing up as a young actress, finding her way and saying, okay, this is the journey for me?
Well, okay, so just like every kid, we always have a dream that we want to be actors. So I remember when I was a little girl, I would watch television shows and I would just sit there and say, I want to see my names on the credits, right?
Yeah.
And that was just something that, I desired. I would love to know what it would be like to be on television. When I was 13, I actually had my very first audition. I had no idea what I was doing. But, I participated in church plays, so that was pretty cool. And then when I moved to Florida, I did a commercial here and there, and I kind of put the dream on hold. So my youngest daughter, she said she wanted to be an actress. So of course, you know how it goes where you don't get to fulfill your dream. So if your kid wants that same dream,
Right.
you know, inspire them and motivate them. So I went ahead and signed her up for School of the Arts. And so she was at School of the Arts from first grade to like junior high. And so I had her training with a private coach. And after my divorce, I said, you know what? Let me get back into something. So I started training and then I was just like, oh my God, this is so much fun. I miss it. And next thing you know, it just started unfolding for me, just, the way it's supposed to be, and, I've done a couple of feature films, a lot of commercials. I had my first lead commercial last year. It was a privilege because my son was actually in the commercial with me. So that was pretty fun. And, just auditioning and networking. And it's just been an amazing journey for me, so I love where I'm at right now.
And you've got your best supporting role opposite of Keisha Knight Pulliam and TC Stallings in Redeemed. So a lot of people remember you for that. What was it like getting the call to start alongside Rudy from the Cosby Show? She's all grown up now, and now she's got a baby of her own. So I'm pretty sure the baby's going to be following in her footsteps too. And I meant to ask you about that. Like, the kids are now following in mommy's footsteps.
Yes.
So what are some of the advice that you've given them before we go back to Redeemed?
Well, as far as advice, well, with my son right now, I have him in training, but what I work with my son as far as training, I do a lot of affirmations with him because I really believe that your confidence and believing in who you truly are as a being is a must. So I work with him a lot on emotions, trying to channel that because that's what an actor does, right? You have to be able to tap into your emotions. And so that's pretty much the advice that I would give is.
Absolutely.
So Redeem,
Now getting
back to Redeem.
yes.
Okay, so with Redeem, when I got the call that I booked the job, and of course, that was my first big role. I was still a new actress, and I played small, and I always submitted for the smaller roles. And when I got the role, I was like, you know what, I got this. And so when I got the script, originally I had the other supporting role, but the lines were less, and I was like, I'm comfortable with this. And when the producer calls me, she said, we switched your roles. So you're going to play Rhonda. And I was like, oh no, Rhonda has a lot. But, I said, you know what? I got this. And it was so much fun because being on set with Keisha Knight Pulliam, she was amazing. She was like a girlfriend. So we were kind of like checking each other, your hair, your eyes. She's like, make sure you feel the lighting of the camera. And TC was awesome. It was a wonderful experience. And it's crazy. It just seems like it was just yesterday, but it was in 2018 when we actually filmed, and it was released in I think February 2021. Yes, was it? Yeah, yep, yeah. But it was such an amazing, amazing experience. Definitely.
Now going forward, because you worked alongside one of another actor that I've interviewed on my platform before, Keon Taylor, and we did that one back in, I would have to say 2020 or either 2022. Was way back when we did an interview together, and it was amazing. So what was it like working alongside Keon? And he has such an amazing sense of humor. Like, when I had him here, he was just so down to earth.
He is, and it's funny because he played my husband on a print job. We both had this print job, and it was so cool because literally the joke was we get to pay for just laying in bed sleeping, so it was a lot of fun because he was so down to earth, and I was goofing around, and I was like, I had him on live, and I was like, who's the best wife, and just real down to earth, like very down to earth, and just fun. It was just fun. I love being around fun people, and I'm a person that energy is everything. So I just love the positive energy. Yes,
Me too.
yes, I watched you, and I'm just like, oh, I love her. She's cool. So that's, yeah, it was wonderful.
I thank you for that. I'm feeding off of your energy. You're a Leo, I'm a Scorpio, so it's just like, oh my God, our energy is just going to be an all-time high. So definitely. Now, Nereida, I know you've seen what's going on with the Oscar snubs and nominations going on. Let's get deep here for a minute. Angela Bassett, all of these years, Angela deserved to have an Oscar for What's Love Got to Do with It. Now she made history today, being the first woman of color to star in a Marvel picture, and this is groundbreaking. Then you have Rihanna. Rihanna's nominated for her song for the Black Panther Wakanda Forever. So it's just like we're seeing bits and pieces of things come for us as women of color. We're both women of color. Now, here's the stats from last year, and this article comes from The Insider, and this is from 2021. Insider analyzed that the Oscar nominations of the past decade, focusing on race and gender, in the top categories, 89% of nominations went to white or non-Black actors. Yeah. and 71.1% of nominations went to men. So you guys know where I'm going with this. We're both women of color. Nereida, as your thoughts as an actress and as a woman of color, what do you think needs to happen for the shift for women of color like us to be even recognized for these type of awards and platforms?
We just have to kind of stick together. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've experienced a lot of I grew up with racism in my own community because, the way I look. So I never
Some.
fitted in with my own kind because I was either too dark, but then I was either too light. So I've never fitted in. You know what I mean? So I just think that we need to realize together that it's not about the outer, it's the inner. And once we all come together and realize that we're all one and we're all connected, I mean, we can move mountains, you know?
Absolutely. Revamp the whole Oscar board. The comments are going in. They're upset. They're outraged. Even Viola Davis got snubbed.
Yeah.
So and then my guest that I had on yesterday, uh oh my God, I forgot just that fast. My guest that I had on yesterday, she was talking about the push for how female directors, that was another snub. There weren't enough female directors.
Yeah.
So that is a conversation that needs to be had. Like, why aren't women, I mean, the Spielberg, all amazing, the Tarantinos, the Kuglers of the world, these men are getting their recognition. But what about Gina Prince Bythewood? What about Ava DuVernay? What about Issa Rae? What about Regina King? All of these female producers and directors who need to get their shine just as well as the guys do too. Now, reading these stats from 2021, and this is from The Insider, 71.1% of the nominations went to men.
Yeah.
Some of these nominations should go to women as well too, because some of the women that I just named, from Issa Rae, Regina King, Gina Prince Bythewood, Lena Waithe, Shonda Rhimes, all of these women deserve to be nominated for awards as well too. So my guest, Kathleen, that's her name, Kathleen, came on here yesterday and she sent me an article today. I was in the process of preparing for this interview with Nereida, and I read the article, and I think it was from the Hollywood Reporter, and she said that it's a shame that it isn't any female directors being nominated for Oscars this year. The majority of them are going to men. So I'm just like, there needs to be a push that needs to happen. And I said it starts with conversations like this for women like myself, Kathleen and Nereida.
Yes, definitely. I agree with that. And you know what I see more and more women that are producers. When I was training, because I still do train, that's the one thing they taught us is if you want to be seen, write your own short, do your own movie and be your own director, be your own writer, be your own producer. So I think that the more women do that, the more we'll be able to be seen. And it's sad that it's like that because women are amazing. I mean,
And it's so, we have so much. We talked about this yesterday with Kathleen, and she was saying, I said, have you ever experienced misogyny? Because she's done stand-up, she's done comedy. So I can understand it from a comic standpoint. I'm not a comic, but I've seen what female comics, whenever they speak out, like Leslie Jones as an example.
Yeah.
And Schumer, so many of these women that are in comedy have spoken up and said, I've experienced some sort of misogyny. And then when it comes to, wanting a headline for a male performer, the male performer wants you to headline. It's just like all of these things that have to go on behind the scenes for the woman to go up and have to go first, and you have to pull a stop to go last. So it's a lot that goes on behind the scenes in the industry that people are not really talking about. And even with the pay gap when it comes to actresses and just everyday women, working women, another study I looked at is the American Progress. I'm looking at this article right now. It says the wage gap number that often receives the most public attention is the overall ratio of women's to men's earnings.
Yeah.
Now, earnings among full-time year-round workers, just 83 cents for women. 83 cents for women and every dollar earned by men in 2020. Nereida, as a woman, how does this make you feel? Because I know I would hear stories where women who are in the industry would look at their co-stars' paychecks and their male co-stars' paychecks, and they're just like, wait, he's got more than me. Why am I not earning the same amount? How does this make you as a woman feel, because Meredith Vieira was also a legendary talk show. You guys remember her from The View. She says, when I look at it, I get damn mad about it.
Yeah.
And I said this yesterday on the show.
Yeah.
So for you, how does it make you
I mean, it does, it does boil your skin, your not your skin, but your boil my blood. But it's sad that it's like that, because just because of your your instrument, you're being judged. You have the same job, doing the same, working the same hours. So it's not fair. So yes, we need equality, definitely. But how do we go about it? I mean, we just have to keep voicing it, right? And just praying that there'll be a change, because we've seen a lot of change.
Yeah.
Not the change, the final results we want, but we've seen gradually a little bit. Now we have a female vice president in the House, and that's big. So I think if we stick together, we can make it happen, eventually. If not for us in this time, for our descendants, for our future. So we just gotta,
Absolutely.
hopefully, I wish I could go in there and be like, hey, can we change this thing now? But it just doesn't work that way, but just prayer and just thinking positive and hoping.
Yes, because the shift is happening. I was telling Kathleen that earlier today. We're seeing the shift happen by blowing the whistle and having conversations like this. These girl talks have been imperative to a lot of people, and a lot of people love them. Yes, that's why Tracy Ellis Ross was making less than Anthony Anderson on the same show. Blackish, absolutely. I read reports on that as well too. Now I'm gonna dive a little further. It says when looking at women's wages across broad racial and ethnic categories among full-time year-round workers, Hispanic women experienced the largest pay gap, having earned 57 cents for every dollar earned by white non-Hispanic men in 2020. That is a shame.
It is.
And it says that they earned 64 black women or women of color. We've earned at least 64 cents for every dollar earned by a white or non-Hispanic man in 2020. The number dipped slightly to 63%, reflecting a slightly larger wage gap when data on the multiracial black women. So women of color, we're looked at as, shout outs to King of Reeds, Justin J. He said, well, black women of color, because me and Nereida are both women of color, we're undervalued in this business.
Appreciate
we're
it.
looked at, we're very below the totem pole. And it's just like, we have talent too. And it goes back to what Nereida just said in the beginning, the mid part of this interview, which is we need more female directors. And there are female directors out here that are doing their thing, who are doing amazing, who are producing their own projects and everything. And they're putting their projects on Tubi and all of these other platforms. But they need their shine as well too, as well as the Spike Lee. And these are amazing male directors and producers. Spike Lee, Quentin Tarantino, Spielberg, Ryan Coogler, all of them, they are amazing. But give the women a chance as well too. All we're asking for is equality. And at the end of the day, it's not going to be equal if we're staying still in the same positions where men hold. We're living in a patriarchal society. I'm going to put it to you that way. We're living in a society where our voices are being silenced. And women were now rising higher in the 20th century and saying, we're not going to tolerate this anymore. This is unfair that my male counterparts are getting more than me and I'm getting less. And I'm working just as hard as my male counterparts. So it's about equality at the end of the day. We're not asking for more. And then for us as women of color, whenever we speak out about it, we get gaslit. We get gaslit and we get just disregarded. We get called, oh, she's being difficult. She's being angry. The reason why I'm angry is because I'm not getting the same pay that my male counterpart is. I'm not getting the same equality that he's getting. Even though he's a man and I'm a woman, at the end of the day, our pay should match up. Our pay should match up. And you go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, it's funny you're saying that, because right now, all I can think about is, okay, rent for everyone is the same. It doesn't matter what gender you are. The rent goes up, and everybody's paying that same rate. So it should be equality. It should be like, how everything is in this world. As far as if you got to pay this bill, we're not going to give you a break because you're a female. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
And inflation, for a lot of people, things are going up. They're increasing. The price of things are increasing and going up. Gas in other states and other countries, even groceries. I was reading an article today, like they were saying egg prices are going up for those of you who like to do, like myself, who love to do a lot of baking. Eggs are going up. So it was on ABC Good Morning America, I think it was. And I seen the article about the eggs. It was somewhere here on Instagram this morning. And I said, my God, the prices of the cost of living is just increased even more. I mean, what else are you going to raise the prices on milk too? You're going to raise the prices on milk because people need these essentials in their
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of people are just changing their lifestyle. It's like, it's too much for me to pay, even if you're vegan or whatever. That already costs more than enough as it is. Eggs, almost the price of car
Hey,
insurance. I can't.
the crazy thing,
Right.
I homeschool my son, and I was just telling a friend of mine, we were just talking right before I got on the live with you, and I was telling him I enjoy it because, I get to teach him, you know, the curriculum, but also I can express it the way I see it as well. And
Yes.
as far as, with the prices going up, when the British went to war to help I believe it was the French war with the Native Americans or the Native Indians. Of course they needed more money because they spent so much money on war. So they want more money. So if we stop spending money on war, maybe we'll have some money, things will balance out. I try not to get into politics, but that's just how I feel. Do you know what I mean?
No, that's a good explanation. Train them while they're young. It was, who was it? Oh my goodness, Osborne. Um, Osborne. Her last name was Marie Osborne. She says she's not leaving an inheritance to her children.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why is because she wants them to learn the value of money. And there are some people like that who will not leave an inheritance to their children. So teaching your children these values, instilling these values into your children at a young age on how to save money, how to budget, how to do all of these things can help them in the long run, beneficial with when they get their children and so forth and so on,
Oh yeah.
generation to generation. Even my mom, she tells me, and I'll take advice and pointers from other people as well too, on how to budget, how to ration things down. Like I keep a notebook for everything. So I write down everything, whether groceries, whatever. So I always try to write those things down. Those things can be beneficial to help you in the long run as well too when it comes to budgeting and the cost of living, because it's a lot. Things are high right now, to keep things going afloat. Like J. Evans mentioned in the comments, car insurance. Yes, yes. And I feel you. For those of you who have vehicles out there, it's a lot. It's a lot. But back to the gender pay gap. I know I bounced off for a minute. It needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
This needs to be fixed. And it's a problem because there aren't enough women of color being nominated in these categories, or people of color in these categories. There needs to be, and Michelle Yao, I think is her name, she's the first Asian actress to be nominated for an Oscar. And I'm just like, we need more of this. We need more of POC, people of color, being nominated for these awards and platforms. So there needs to be a shift in Hollywood altogether to showcase inclusiveness for people of color.
Yeah.
We need that.
But this platform right here that you're offering, it's an amazing way to, voice your voices, your opinion, speak, So, and I think being heard is pretty much the answer, is heard. And hopefully, we can have a shift, we can have a change, because it's only fair. I mean,
absolutely. Yes, absolutely. And I hope a lot of you are taking some of these tools along with you, whether it's about balancing and making sure that you have enough money saved because things are going up. Make sure that you guys are saving, and more importantly, budgeting. Cut back. I mean, there's nothing wrong with using coupons. I'm a frugal shopper. So I'm always budgeting.
But all these
you too, you budget
now,
too?
all these has gone a little bit higher. It used to be the prices were a little bit better, but now all these I have to compare with, Publix. I'm like,
yes. And it's just like, okay, I collect, because they'll send up sales paper in the mail. Make sure you guys save those sales papers. You never know what you could find in their coupons, deals, or whatever. And there's so many apps that you can go to that will track your miles and steps whenever you go into the store and you rack up points and things like that. Groupon, there's so many places that you can go that will help you save money. I have a girlfriend, shout outs to Candace, and she has a whole book of coupons. I said, girl, where did you get this? When did you start couponing? I didn't even have any idea that she started couponing. So definitely save, budget, be frugal about it, take advantage of these apps, take advantage of everything. Whenever they send you something in your email as well too. I used to keep on couponing, yes, and a lot of people take that very, very seriously. That they do it in alphabetical order. She had it in alphabetical order by brand, by everything. Like they take this seriously. It's like watching the Game of Thrones. Like if you are a gamer out there, you're into anime, you know.
It works.
So
It works.
couponing is on a whole different level.
So when I was in my early 20s, I was a cashier, and I remember some of those customers had 2 carts full of groceries. And by the time I had scanned all the coupons, sometimes I was giving them money back because they were very smart. It's about being strategic.
When you shop, exactly. For my ladies out there, Ulta Beauty sends weekly coupons and details to your email. So check your emails as well too. You're a makeup girl like myself. Make sure that you are taking advantage of those coupons as well too. Um, Fragrance stores. I know a lot of fragrance stores will send you coupons and deals as well too. Sai says she had a binder. Yes, that's what she had. She had like a coupon photo album type thing with all of these coupons, and she had them in alphabetical order and everything. And by brand, if it's Walmart, if it's CVS, all of these things. And I know my mom, whenever she goes to CVS or she gets something from there, she gets a they print out the long thing of coupons, and it's like, when is it gonna stop? So she uses the coupons right in there, and they work. And I'll give you an example. I bought some nail polish from CVS, and I used a coupon, and it turned out to be only 22 cents. So I'm like, my goodness. So you take it and you use it, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I said, let me get a couple colors, because I went in there and I went crazy, and I seen the whole rack of polishes because I do my own nails and stuff. And I said, let me grab a couple of these colors. So I grabbed one, and it turned out to be 22 cents. My mom said, you got a bargain. I said, yeah, I didn't even know. I just used the coupon, went in there. So take advantage of those little things. You never know what could happen in the end result for it. I'm telling
I've
you,
always
rack
been a
up.
person, though. It's funny. This is a few years back when I was a shopaholic with clothes. I love this website, Venus. And they always had, if you spend $75, you get $25, a $25 gift card. So I noticed that my cart was over the amount. So what I did, I moved around, and I had 4 orders of $75. So I literally got $100 worth of gift cards.
See?
It took a lot of time because I had to make sure I calculated it, to balance it out. But you have to be strategic. You have to. Because if I was going to go ahead and just go the easy way out and just put it all in one cart and just get one $25 gift card, it didn't benefit me. So I said, you know what? I'm spending more than that, so I might as well go ahead and just break it down, So it's time consuming, but it's worth it at the end.
All right, fashion dolls, make sure you guys remember that. Those tips can help you along the way with shopping and doing what you need to do. I'm a Fashion Nova girl, so whenever Fashion Nova sends me a coupon or something, I go right there. And I've got my mom even addicted to Fashion Nova. Like, she loves the pantsuits and everything. She won't wear some of the dresses that I've worn on the show. They're kind of short, but she will wear those pantsuits, and she loves denim. So um, we took advantage of that, and she loves it. She loves it because we're able to go around, and they got a little wheel you can spin, and you can get 10% off, 5% off. So it's different little things like that. So take advantage of these deals whenever you're shopping online or wherever it is, doing what you need to do. Especially during the holidays, it's the best time. Even though shipping is kind of slow, it's going to be backed up a little bit, but it's worth the wait. I'm telling you, it's worth the wait because you get so much more than what you need. All right? Okay, fashion dolls. We are going to get into a little bit more girl talk with Nereida. So, Nereida, motherhood. What is it like balancing out motherhood with being an actress? Because I know for us, I was watching this interview with Diana Ross, and I think it was on with Diane Sawyer, somebody on CBS. And she said that being a woman in the industry, being a mother, is so unique with being a woman because you're able to balance these things out. We can do it all. Women, we can do it all. And she was talking about balancing out motherhood with going on tour and on concerts and performing and things. So for you, how do you find that balance with being an actress and being a mom?
So for me, so right now I have 4 children. So I have three older ones, and he's the youngest. So he's being raised as the only child. I was pretty fortunate when I actually was on set to film the Black Archives. I was able to bring him with me on set. And he brought his, his little chair. He had his tablet. Producers were cool about it. Not everybody is cool with bringing a kid on set, but he's an actor, so he understands, how to behave. So he knows, don't touch this, don't touch that. He'll kind of keep up in his own space. So it is a little challenging sometimes when I do have to travel, like to Atlanta. I have to find someone to watch him for me. But for the most part, my oldest daughter, she keeps him for me. But I already talked to my mother in New York. I was like, if I get this gig where I have to be on set for 2 weeks, can I bring him to you? She's like, yeah, So it's just taking the drive to New York. So it's very time consuming. So as far as balancing being a mother and an actress, to be honest with you, there's really never a balance. We try our hardest to be present first with yourself. So what I try to do is I have to have my me time. When I mean that, I mean my mental health. So I have to breathe, take my moment, and he gets it because he knows. He's like, okay, she's in her Zen mode, and homeschooling, pretty much it's a lot about him because I have to really cater to him a lot to make sure that he's in a good space, because it's about everyone in your circle, but balancing, I don't think anyone's figured that one out yet. Whoever has a balanced life, please give me the tips. But I try my best to, make sure, like in my house, the energy has to be positive. I don't do negative energy. So if you're having a crappy day, you're going to have to sit with it, observe it, and then figure it out. And we talk about it. I'm like, so how are you feeling? Do you feel loved? Do you feel neglected? And so, I explained to him because my older three kids, I worked a lot with them. I was always like, on a hustle. And with him, I'm like, you're the only one that I'm really with more than anybody. Because, you learn as you go as a parent. Because being a parent, there's no instructions, there's no manual. And I had my first one when I was 16. So I'm pretty fortunate. Yes. So having children did not stop me from pursuing my dreams. So I'm that person that when I hear people say, well, because I had a kid, no, your kids don't stop you. You are stopping yourself. So yes, it may be challenging because I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's perfect. Okay. But I work a lot inwards than the outer. So that's what I was pretty much telling my friend is, just focusing on my inner world helps me a lot, and just turning that light inside. It's just like, wow, because I was in a dark place there for a while. I'm not going to sit here and say I wasn't. It happens. But you know what? The secret is when you finally realize that you have access to that light, keep it on, and share it with the world, because so many just give up. And my thing is with young mothers, or even like my daughter-in-law, my son has 5 children. And I told her, I said, sweetheart, whenever you need a break, I'm here. I love my grandbabies. They're amazing. The kids are busy, and so just having them one keeps me busy. So I can imagine having 5 kids, so, and children are a blessing. Children are healing, and that's the thing, but I love being a mom too. So I'm pretty fortunate.
And I'm gonna go back to what you said as well too about oh, because she's got children, you can't do this, you can't. Yes, and who was it? Michelle Obama. She said a quote. She asked a question. She said, can women have it all? Yes, we can. It's all about. It goes back to what Diana Ross said about basically being able to balance it out. With being the actress, being the mom, making sure that you give your children time as well too. And I'm glad you instilled that into them. And a lot of parents, whoever's watching, needs to instill positivity into their youth, into the children as well too, because they consume so much of what's going on in the world. So it's important that you protect your mental and they protect their mental as well too. And we understand them and we listen to them. And you build those bonds with your children over time. Throughout the day, it was just like, okay, me and my mom have a real close relationship. Me and my grandmother have a real close relationship. And we're able to sit down and have these conversations of how are you feeling today? How are you feeling? And it's just like, because my mom is, she's a Libra, I'm a Scorpio. So it's just like yin and yang. I understand her, she understands me. When I'm down, she's down. All right. When she's happy, I'm happy. And it's just the same. It's just the same. We understand each other. And that's that soul connection and bond that any mother, any parent should have with their child. Nereida looks like she's in her 20s. Black don't crack.
Thank you. But no, you're so right though. You are right. And you know, the that saying they say it takes a village, you know,
Yes.
it does take a village, you know. And like I'm actually writing a book, by the way. I've already started. Yeah, and I'm going to share it with the world. And it's my journey, you know, as a single mom. You know, everybody thought I was crazy. I moved from New York with 3 kids to Florida. But had not done that, I would have never found who I truly am. And everything happens for a reason, you know, all your troubles and difficulties. And I've learned that it's not what's happening to you, it's what's happening for you. And once I learned, just let go. Oh my God, just forgiveness too. And that's another thing, you know, just forgiving yourself first for whatever you've gone through that you blame yourself, and just forgiving everyone doesn't mean that they have to be in your circle, but it's just an amazing feeling of just having that freedom that you did that. You just feel lighter, you know what I mean? And once you see that, you just see life in a totally different way. You know, you're more gracious and just appreciate everything, and just a smile, you know, is healing. You know, a simple compliment to someone is healing. You don't realize how you're actually an impact in someone else's life because you don't know what they're going through, you know? So I'm gonna
Exactly. Mental health is key. I love what you said also. I need to protect my aura. I need to protect my energy. And as being in this business, it's definitely imperative
it is.
that you protect your energy and your mental. It's key because and I use one of the world's most power. I call her one of the world's most powerful women. She just did a big performance in Dubai, rising up to the top on this like pedestal thing. You guys know Beyonce. So yes, one of the world's most powerful women. She does not read comments. Her mom said that in an interview. She does not read comments. She does not read stories about her, any of that. When I tell you, when we seen her, when she did the performance in Dubai, absolutely beautiful. And it's because she protects her
You
peace.
have to.
She protects her energy. She protects her mental. She doesn't read it. She doesn't drain herself. So it's important, and it goes back to what Nariata just said, which is make sure that you teach your children as well to protect their mental, to have conversations with people. For us as POC, as people of color, we've been taught so long to sweep things up under the rug that's bothering us. No, talk about it. Talk about it. People are going to talk about you. They're going to judge. They're going to have their criticism about you when it comes to you and your mental health. There's nothing wrong with seeking therapy. And we have to get out of that, oh, it'll make me look crazy. Forget what other people will say about you. If you need to go and have a moment and sit down and talk to someone, talk to someone.
Oh
Because in the end result, we've seen so many losses
my
this
God.
year. And one of the biggest ones was Stephen Twitch Boss. When I seen that news here when I seen the news and I was scrolling down, and I think it was on People magazine, that was the first news source that I seen it on. I said, oh my God, this can't be true because he was such a happy
Right.
person. Yeah, the world seen him as a happy person, but we never knew what he was battling with behind the scenes. I give you another example. One of the greatest rock musicians in my time, I love him so much, Kurt Cobain. Kurt Cobain is another example. So Phyllis Hyman, amazing singer. You never know what people could be battling with behind the scenes. The rapper, what's his name, Juice World. So I mean, we're losing so many people to self harm, and I can't say the word because
Yeah.
that
No,
this is for entertainment purposes only. Instagram,
I 100%.
but yes, this is real.
Yeah, it is. It is. And it's crazy because, like, being self aware, like what I've learned, I mean, my journey, I love everything that I've gone through. I have no regrets. Everything. My whole past, if I were to go back and redo it, I wouldn't change a thing because of who I am today. But even like, I could tell if I'm tense or at ease, and I'll catch myself. I'm not breathing properly. And the minute I take a deep breath and exhale, oh my,
Mhm.
I feel like, wow, that's what I needed, you know. And a lot of times, you know, people don't ask people, how are you doing? No, how are you doing? Like, really, how are you doing? Tell me. So I also, I specialize in cutting hair for years there, but now I'm more actress than cutting hair. But I was a therapist for my guys. They would sit in my chair and I would just listen, no judgment, because we're not here to judge. And this is what I tell my kids. When people judge someone else, it's really how they feel about themselves, because we're not here to judge. We're not supposed to judge, you know? So I don't believe I can't stand, even when I was younger, I didn't like that, as far as judging people, because you don't know. You don't know why they did what they did or what got them there. You know what I mean? But it says a lot about a
Absolutely.
person when they sit there and just has everything negative about them. So it's just go back, regroup, breathe, exhale, forgive, whatever it is that you're going through, process it and let it go, you know?
And even if you have to put your phone on do not disturb, there come times when it's just like you have to put your phone on do not disturb. You don't want to contact anybody, but there's family members out there that are listening. There's friends out there that are listening. And surround yourself with a great circle of people. Keep that intimate circle of people that you truly, truly trust within your circle, that you know genuinely. And I know a couple people in here, Island Yankee, Jay Evans, and so many others, K-Tubes, so many others that are within my circle that I'm thankful for, that understand me intimately on that connection, on that level. My best friend Felicia, there's so many people. Even some of my guests that I've interviewed will message me and check on me, that I've interviewed on this platform will message me and check on me like, Miss Stevie, you all right? Do you need anything? Yes. And it's the sweetest thing, because we built those bonds over time. And that's what you have to do, is build solid bonds and connections with people. More importantly, talk to someone if you feel yourself in a funk, and pull yourself up out of it, because depression is a thing. It is
It
real
is.
out here. It is real. Stephen Twitch was just proof of that. We seen how happy he was, the dancing and everything. He was known for dancing, and it's something. Dancing is therapeutic as well too. So get up, move, and do something.
Move your
Find something that works for you. And I know for me, I love to write. That's one thing people know. I'm always in a book. I'm always reading, always educating myself, always staying on top. So make sure that you are staying on top of what you need to stay on top of. Because when it comes to protecting your mental health, your peace, and your energy, I know when I'm not on here, we'll come back periodically on here and check DMs and stuff. And and I'll be like, okay, I'm sorry I missed this. Just text me on my phone. I'm on break. I'm not doing the show today. So I'll come back and I'll check DMs periodically. But other than that, when I'm home, I am home. When I'm on here, I'm on here. Only you can pull yourself out. That's so true. Shout outs to Marcus Head, who is the host of the Good Head podcast, M Head filmmaker. So make sure you guys please go and check out his platform. And when it comes to that, mental health within the Black community, we're starting to see more and more, and POC, people of color, normalize. Because for years, it's like, okay, I don't want to look crazy. I don't want to look crazy to people. What are people going to think about me? And I bring this example up all the time. You guys remember the show Good Times, right?
Mhm.
You guys know the dad, James Evans Sr., right? He came in the house and he was flaming mad. So that scene where he throws that chair against the wall because Michael kept pressuring him like, Dad, you have depression, you have high blood pressure, you have this. And he was just like, I don't have it. And that's when he threw the chair against the wall and it broke, because he was in
Right.
denial. That happens in the POC household for us people of color. In the people of color household, that happens for
Right.
us, where we're in denial of mental health or whatever it is health wise that we have going on. But talk to somebody before it's too late,
Right.
because depression is real. Mental health is real, and I need people to realize that, because we've lost so many people from the beginning of the year. We lost Barbara Walters, and that took us all by surprise. And then when it came to Twitch, I was just shocked. Like, I was at a loss for words. And I was texting everybody, to check to see how they were doing. And at the time, I lost my aunt. A few days later, I lost my aunt. So it's just like, wow. So we were checking on each other big time. I texted my cousins, and the family stayed in touch with one another, and we still are. So I put in the family group chat, because we have like a little family group chat, that we need to keep in touch with
Yeah.
each other. Families, you got to stick together. And this is like, she's like Nereida said in the beginning of the interview, that this is a unit. So we have to work together. We have to stay together. And more importantly, I might not be able to make it to every family gathering, but just know that I'm one phone call away. I'm one text away. You can text or
Right.
call. So keep in touch with your family members. Keep in touch with the ones that you love and give people their flowers while they're here because life is too
Absolutely.
short. We lost so many people, and I hate even talking about the passings. Like I could go on and on. We lost Irene Carew. I wasn't expecting that. Kirstie Alley. We lost so many this year from the year of 2022 to now 2023. And it seems like the losses are just nonstop. So please give people their flowers while they're here. Embrace them and love on them and celebrate them.
Amen. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Definitely.
Ooh, that I had to get off of my soapbox, girl, because that was a mouthful.
But it's
But listen, it's true. It's true. And I love this actress so much, Jennifer Lewis. She talks a lot about her bipolar disorder. She talks a lot about depression and pulling yourself up out of a funk. And she said this in one interview. She said that a lot of people drink themselves. They drink or they do something to kind of numb the pain. No, there is no better feeling than
yeah,
talking about.
release.
Yes, that's
You
temporarily. It can numb the pain temporarily, but talk about it.
you have to release it, you know, release it because suppressing it is not going to help it. Suppressing it will build it. And then it's like, the pot boiling water and the lid pops off. So it's like, you have to let it go. You have to. But the thing is that, at least with me, we came up that you couldn't talk about certain things, right? So I think that's what it comes from. It's, are we allowed to talk about it? Is it embarrassing? Am I going to be judged? Again, there we go with the
Exactly.
judge, right? Fear of being judged and, categorized as, like you said, crazy. But it's really important to, talk. And here's another thing, talking to God,
Oh
definitely talk to
yeah,
God,
all the time.
because God will, the thing about it is when you talk to God, He will send you those people, you know, He'll send you a sign. You could be driving down the highway and see a sign and it'll just be like, oh, you know what? Okay. It's like a game. I hate to say that, but it'll take you to the next
Mhm.
step, to the next step. And then you're just like, that's what I needed. You know what I mean? Or you meet people for a reason. So talking to God is definitely key in, your village. If you have it, some people are not fortunate to have that, because they're afraid. It's not that they can't, it's that they're afraid, to talk. But definitely, we just need to keep each other in prayers, definitely, because prayers do work. And just be positive. Spread the light. Spread the light. Spread love.
Absolutely. Uplift someone. Jay Evans agrees. That's right. Stay in tune and in peace with who you are. So we're gonna change the. This was heavy, you guys,
Just
and
have
take a deep breath.
laugh.
Relax.
I'm
Yes.
but it was good.
All right. Yes. And I hope you guys took something from this. If you find yourself in that dark place, find something that brings you joy. Find something that brings you joy. A lot of people do not know how to pray and take the next step after prayer to meditate and wait for God to lead us. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Have a conversation with God every morning when I get up, when I start my day. My mom, she gave me like this prayer journal. And I write down my scriptures. I write down quotes because I love quotes and I love affirmations that keep me going throughout the day as well too. So find little things like this. Even if you have to, I remember I took one quote and I written it in my lipstick on the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
So find little things like that to do. Heavy and very important. It's imperative. We talk a lot about
Yes.
mental health because and normalize it even more within the Black community for us as POC, people of color. 100%. All right, fashion dolls. So we're going to change. Deep breaths. Deep breaths, y'all. Okay, so we're going to have some fun with our girl Nereida here. We're going to get into the rapid five, and then we're going to do her thoughts, where I'm going to name some amazing actresses, and she's going to give us one word to describe each actress. All right? So the rapid five, we did this yesterday with Kathleen, is where she gives us five things she can't live without. It could be in her beauty bag, her go-to beauty products. It can be her goals, her aspirations, her favorite drink, her favorite, well, Super Bowl season will be here before you know it. So your favorite football team, whatever she wants. So what are the top 5 things that Nereida can't live without?
Okay, so I'm a nerd, so I don't know if we're gonna call it a thing, but definitely God, my loved
Yeah.
ones, laughter, and my wigs. I've been wearing my wigs since 1999, before they were even popular for fun.
Hello.
So I can't live without my wigs.
Ladies, if you know, you know.
That was 5, right?
That was 2. That was 2.
God, love, my loved ones, laughter, my wigs. What else? What else can I not live out without? Jeez, my car. Because I need to get to
Yeah.
places. Definitely my car.
And you started it off. You started off with God all the time. You need him in your life. I'm telling you, he's good and he's awesome. Every day I wake up in the morning, I give him thanks. I give him grace because without him, I would not be here. My mom, she even told me, she said, don't get too big for this platform that you forget who put you here, where you at, because just as fast as you got here, he can bring you back down to reality. Don't ever forget it. That's what she told me. And my grandmother always tells me, put God first in everything that you do. And my sister, rest her soul, was always faith-based as well, too. So I miss her dearly. I lost her in 2018 of August. And since then, we've kept the family just going, kept keeping her legacy going. It's a lot. So yeah, keep those ones who are near and dear to you, near and dear to you. I'm telling you. So Marcus, you got your 5. Marcus said 4.
I need one more.
She gave up 5.
My clothes, because I love to dress. So clothes.
Me
I
too.
have so much clothes that I am in the process of giving away clothes. But
I
I think
love
that's
that.
all right. Definitely, your clothes, your wigs. So
Like to stay on top of the trend ahead. I'm there with you, girl. All right, fashion dolls. So it is time for her thoughts. So I'm going to name some amazing actresses.
okay,
And now Rihanna is going to give her opinion, give one word to describe each
okay,
actress. All right. So the first actress we're going to start off with is Kerry Washington.
amazing,
All right. The next one is Viola Davis.
dynamic,
Yes. All right. Rosie Perez.
fierce,
Okay. Rita Moreno.
talented.
All right. And we have 3 more. All right. So the next choice is Tracy Ellis Ross.
Phenomenal,
Okay. Next one is Cheryl Lee Ralph.
ravishing,
And last but certainly not least, Nereida Velazquez.
awesome.
Great, great choice of women, y'all. Great choice of women. Great choice of women. So if you guys have any actions that you would like to get into the category, drop them in the comments. But it's like actress on actress. I would have said my essence of being a woman as 5. Ooh, yes, Island Yankee. Yes, I love that. I love that. And it's great that you guys are chiming in the conversation. You guys are enjoying the girl talk because this is what it's all about. It's about having fun and making you guys think, even when it comes to mental health, being open and transparent. Nereida said something, which is, I have to make sure that I'm the number one is taken care of. So make sure you guys are divulging in a lot of self-care. And that's something that I preach all the time on my platform. Marcus says, what about Pam Grier? Ooh, great
Amazing,
choice.
awesome.
Angela Bassett.
She's definitely phenomenal. Definitely, love me some
Angela
Angela Bassett. What
Bassett.
was that?
Ooh,
Waiting to Exhale. I read the book, and when her movie came,
girl.
wait, we're talking about the 90s. I'm telling my age now, right? I'm telling my age. Waiting to Exhale. I remember I read the book. It was this big. Black
I've
cover.
got the pink.
Man.
I've got the paperback one. I don't have the hardback one. I have the paperback one, and I've watched that movie over and over and over
Ooh,
again. So I love Whitney Houston. Y'all know
all
I'm a
the
big Whitney
best.
fan. So, oh my God, that was a
Yeah.
great movie, and we need to see more movies like that where it showcases women. Well, you got Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry has his show Sisters, so that's the only thing that we're seeing right now. But you know, you had back then you had shows like Living Single that showcased women of color and sisterhood. Diane Carroll. One word to describe Diane Carroll, I would have to say timeless because she was so timeless. And if you guys, because Dynasty was one of my grandmother's favorite soaps to watch, I went and I found it, the collection, the Dynasty DVD collection, and I cherished it because that was one of my grandmother's favorite shows to watch. My father told me, and she would religiously live through Diane Carroll. She loved her. So phenomenal. Yes, the iconic car scene in Waiting to Exhale,
Yeah.
Diva. Yes, I, that is one of my favorite movies. When she said when Nereida said native, Waiting to Exhale,
Mm-hmm.
that is one of my favorite Angela movies. That one and also, oh my God, what's love got to do with it?
Oh,
And I still believe if we could go back in time and nominate her for an award for because she wore Tina
oh, yeah,
Turner out,
definitely.
she should be nominated for that as well too. Not just Black Panther Wakanda Forever, but What's Love Got to Do with It. And not too long ago, she won an Emmy. And she said this has been since 1994 since I won an Emmy for What's Love Got to Do with It. So it's, yeah, again, it goes back to what we were talking about in the beginning, which is we're seeing that shift where Black actresses are getting their just due, and it should
Yeah.
be more and more,
Yeah.
more and more
Yeah.
and more to come.
Well,
Oh yeah,
platform, because I believe this is a step to it, you know. So
absolutely. And we got a question for you now, Ryder. Jay wants to know if you could do a bio, who would you like to play?
if I could do a bio, who I would like to play. Ooh. Oh my God, I never thought about that one. Uh, I can't even think about that one. God, I'm like lost for words. I wouldn't even know who. Um, God, I feel awful not knowing. I don't know. I hate to say that, but off the top of my head, I wouldn't know who to even pick. I'm just over here thinking, brainstorming.
Now, who would play you in a bio about your life? Because you said the babies are already acting. They've done gigs with you and commercials and
Hmm.
things. So who would play you in a bio about your life? Oh yes, Angela Bofield, the singer.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah.
I could see
You,
that.
you know,
Now, who would play you in a story about your life?
you know, and you know, because they do, what is it? They'll cast you based on your appearance a little bit. When I was younger, I got a lot of Alicia Keys. People actually thought I was Alicia Keys. So I would say Alicia younger than I
Ooh.
am. She's younger than I am. So we'll see what you know. I don't know if has she done any acting? I don't know if she has. I know Holly
Yes,
Berry.
Alicia
Yes,
done some acting.
she has.
She has.
Okay. I would say Alicia Keys. And I'm going based on, you know, I favored her or whatever. She's actually younger than I am, but because she was out there, you know, everybody knew her. So they say I look like her when I had my braids in Florida. But I would say Alicia Keys probably if she were to play my bio, you know.
Oh, that's a good one, Island Yankee. We got another question for you. If you could produce a memoir about your life, who would you want to play the baby you and the teen you?
Definitely Kerry Washington.
Ooh,
Good. Um, and the baby me, I would say Jenna Ortega.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Wednesday on Netflix. If you guys have not seen it, she did absolutely phenomenal in it, and it's everyone is buzzing about it. I haven't seen it, but I've seen the phenomenon behind it, and she is an amazing actress. From animation to voiceover, she does that as well too. And when she's right in front of the lens, right on cue. Now, Kerry Washington, if you guys have watched Scandal, you know she does this thing with her lips. Angela is all in the facial expression, is all in the body language, and she brings it so ferociously. So that's why we love Angela Bassett here at the Dollhouse. All of these amazing women, they just bring it when they're on screen. You all are incredible, and just keep doing what you're doing. So, do we have any more questions for myself, Nereida?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this
got me for the answer.
This was such a great girl talk, and I hope you guys all took something imperative and it brought you joy and so much more. Again, just to go through all of these dark times, you find something that brings you happiness and joy, and that's what I want to do here on this platform, is continue to bring people happiness, and more importantly, make them feel good and make them go throughout their day knowing that everything is going to be all right, because people need reassurance. We've been pent up in like this dark cloud when this thing came over us and the world was like at a pause. But now things have kind of gone back to normal, and we're starting to see the shift of things, people getting back to their happy. So find what makes you happy, find what makes you feel joy at the end of the day, because we need it in these times. All right? All right, fashion dolls, if we don't have, wait a minute. Whoop. Okay, we got 2 questions. All right, let me see something. Let me go to this one. If you could produce a playlist of your life, what 10 songs would best fit you, would best fit who you were, where you were, and where you're at now? That's from Island Yankee.
Definitely, I would say that song, Alicia Keys, "This Girl's on Fire."
Yes.
The one. And Leslie, Leslie Grace, the song. Well, actually, I love the words to that song. "Stand By Me."
Yeah.
What director does she like to work with? Well, George Pierre.
Amazing director. I mean, there's so many out there. It's stuff like, for me, it's like picking one of your favorite fashion designers. Like, it's so many. There's so many.
Yeah, and that's the fun thing about this industry. There's so many opportunities for everybody. It's like I was telling my daughter-in-law that there's no competition, because just like the flowers, they all blossom at their own pace, and they blossom beautifully because everybody has their own destiny, their own purpose, because there's only one you.
Yes, exactly. Individuality is key in this business. So find what makes it work for you 100%. Now, your playlist, you said you had a playlist. You gave us 2 songs.
You guys are making me think here. I said Alicia Keys, "This Girl's on Fire." Beyonce, "Who Run the World." Girls.
Yeah.
That's 2, right?
That's 3. You gave us Alicia Keys, Leslie, and Beyonce.
3. Jesus, off the top of my head.
And she threw some Beyonce in the playlist, so that's our girl right there.
Like I just feel like I just got stage fright here, just trying to think about the songs, because when you think about it, you got to know the words, so you can just just pop it out. I'm just thinking here because I listen to a lot of Sade too, but top of my head, like I guess it's just my brain just farted. You know how that goes. I can't even think of one right now other than those 2. Oh, you know what? Beverly Davis. I just did a music video for her in 2020, and she's a jazz singer. It's a pretty cool song. That song definitely, I made it. I made it, and it's about a single mother who goes
Mm.
through her struggle and makes it. So actually, that song, I didn't know her. She made that song before I even was able to cast in her music video. That pretty much sums up my life, because it's from a single mother making it happen. Her kids go through college, and she made it. So I would say that. So that'll sum it up.
That's a good. All right, fashion dolls. There you have it. Any more questions for myself or Nereida? Ladies and gentlemen, this is such a great girl talk, and we hope you guys took something imperative along the way. So I'm going to let my girl Nereida close out the interview with some amazing words of wisdom. What advice would you give to young women who are watching both of us and saying both, if she can do it and she can do it, I can do it as well too.
Oh my God. So I would say, obviously, this is my go-to, always forgiveness. Once you forgive, you let go and you're open to receive. And just love with an open heart, you know, and just mental picture, just envision what you want, stay focused, stay committed, do the work. Don't just say you want, but you have to do the work. Doing the work consists of inner work, you know, the actual work that you need to do. If you need to make phone calls, if you need to do researches, if you need to train, you know, a therapist, like we talked about, do the work, do the work. And just no matter who tells you and disencourages you and tells you you can't do it, you know you can do it. And just keep God first
Yeah.
and trust
Yes.
everything will work out as planned. It will. Because what's destined
Remember that.
yours is yours. It's already yours.
And we got one more question from Alan Yak. He wants to know, in a would you like a series about your life or a movie?
I would see a movie. Because after a series, it's just like, what else
You
is
got to
there?
do part after part after part, like with who was it? New Edition. They had a series, and then Selena had a series on Netflix. So it's just like, okay, part one, part two, part three, part four, part five. So yeah.
I would see a movie though, because for me, it would be, you know, as a child, it's funny because my book, again, I had to go back and I
Mm-hmm.
had to breathe because it was heavy. When you go back and you have to revisit it, right? So, and I didn't have a bad childhood. I didn't, compared to some people, but for me, it was enough to be where I'm at today, to process it, to forgive, to let go, to understand why I had to go through what I went through to be where I'm at today. But I would say a movie though. I would say a movie, like a Avatar movie, 3 hours, Wakanda, 3 hour movie.
All right, fashion dolls. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Nereida Velazquez. So let everyone know where they can follow you and they can check out your projects. We would love to have you back in the dollhouse anytime. I had such a great time with you, and this was an amazing girl talk. So 2 amazing girl talks to kick off this amazing week. And joining me tomorrow, we have actor Marvin Ritchie is going to be here. So let everyone know where they can follow you and check out your project.
Oh, I'm actually on Instagram as I am Nereida Velazquez, Nereida Velazquez, and then I'm on Facebook, Nereida Velazquez as well.
Nereida Velazquez, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you guys please go and follow her and take that advice. Miss Stevie, very angelic, looking like you're about to sing "Best Thing I Never Had." It's given that with the look today. I did it just for Paris Fashion Week. You guys know I have to come through with the looks just in time. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Nereida. This is such an amazing girl talk and conversation, and this one will be saved. So make sure you guys check out the replay. It will be here. And check out Style by Stevie Daytime. Head on over to YouTube and subscribe and hit that bell so you'll be notified when new shows and episodes and interviews are posted. I love you all, and you guys, please be safe out there. Stay warm, all of that, because it is kind of chilly. Yeah, the sun is out, but don't be fooled. It's still chilly. So that's why I'm wearing what I'm wearing today.
Like,
But thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you guys like it. And we have some more amazing treats this week. So you guys stay tuned here. Amazing Girl Talk with Nereida Velazquez. Make sure you guys follow her and check out Redeemed right now. It is out on BET. Go and check it out. Amazing filming project. And I love you. You guys take care, be safe, and stay styled by Stevie. Take care, everyone.
thank you.
You're welcome.